Am I there? Have you got me? You called. You called, Master. Yes, I'm trapped here. Yes, I'm at your service. For at least 15 minutes or so. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about this in a second. This triangle here. We're talking about magic on the road today in our little section of homemade magic. And, well, we'll just get right into it. Hey, happy new moon, everybody. I don't think this is a black moon. I think something else has to happen for it to be uh, qualify for the term black moon. I don't think there will be a black moon in 2021. But there is a new moon, and that's always a great opportunity to get ourselves ready to start new things. And so I hope we can all take advantage of that. This coming weekend, Jupiter uh, finally leaves its accustomed place where it's been hanging out for the last 12 years or so, and it's going into Pisces, and which hopefully it's much more comfortable in Pisces for a while. And there's a big festival going on. It used to be a festival, I believe, that took place live in the UK called Pomegranate Grove. But of course, because of the pandemic and everything, they've had to do it remotely and through a Zoom organization. And I'm going to be part of that this weekend. And I've comprised a Jupiter ritual and a consecration of a Jupiter talisman, creation and consecration of a Jupiter talisman uh, ritual. And if you have the time and feel so inclined, the whole uh, event takes up the better part of an entire day with wonderful speakers and presenters and music and things like that. And I've posted the links right here on my page. And if you are so inclined, please take a look at everything and register, and especially register for my little Jupiter, uh, Jupiter's blessing ritual, I guess we could call it. But anyway, so much for that. And if you do, I'll see you this weekend. Chapter 13, Magic on the Road. The epigram is from Martin Buber. All journeys have a secret destination, all journeys have secret destinations of which the traveler is unaware. Being an initiating officer in the OTO has, over the years, afforded me the opportunity to travel worldwide quite a bit on order business. And my subsequent writing and musical careers have more recently added other events to my travel itinerary. I like to travel, and I am for the most part a good traveler. I enjoy the discipline and focus travel demands of me. I enjoy the solitude of the journey. I enjoy the long hours of quiet self-sufficiency when I'm alone with my thoughts. I delight in a perpetual background meditation of not knowing exactly what adventures await me along the way and at my destination. Each trip is a complex magical ceremony, within which are multiple smaller ceremonies, all needing artful coordination and precise timing. Funding must be invoked. Scheduling obstacles must be banished. Spirits, managers, airlines, friends, colleagues, bookstores, managers, club owners, guitar rental stores, cab drivers, hotel reservation, and desk clerks. Those are the spirits. Must be conjured and charged, or appeased, cajoled, directed, and compensated. All even before I'm ready to focus on the main object of the operation, which is the initiation, business meeting, lecture, workshop, seminar, book signing, recording session, or concert. Of course, you could say that I'm simply applying fancy magical terminology to mundane events, and you would be correct. But for a magician, there are no mundane events. I meant every word what I wrote in chapter 0. Once you realize you're a magician, it will be impossible for you to remove the magic from any aspect of your existence. It's all magic. And every moment of your existence, you are called upon to be a magician. Airport delays, waiting at the gate, and tedious hours in the air offer me opportunities to practice pranayama and mentally banish, invoke, or silently chant my magical mantra. Even standing in slow-moving lines and passing through the dreadful security procedures at airports can be transformed into an initiation ceremony that echoes with uncanny similarities the passing of the pylons of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, if one only has magical eyes to see it that way. There are also occasions when traveling when I unexpectedly find it necessary to perform a more formal, impromptu, or emergency magical operation, using improvised magical accoutrements and weapons. I can think of no clearer example of homemade magic in action than these rituals that I've had to throw together in hotel rooms, public lavatories, or even the back seats of taxi cabs. Here are just a few examples of how I operate in the field, so to speak. Traveling as much as I do each year, I'm used to quickly setting up housekeeping in hotel rooms and living out of my suitcase. Obviously, I don't travel around with all my magical furnishings and tools. I don't bring my elemental banners or symbolic decorations that festoon the working area of my home temple, nor do I bring along my magical robes or my wand, cup, sword, and disc. I've never traveled with heavy and elaborate furniture like the holy table or the elemental tablets that I use to perform Enochian vision magic. And when I'm required to summon spirits and demons of the Goetia, or Solomonic operations, when I'm required to summon, and I certainly don't pull out of my suitcase a magical circle 9 feet in diameter and a triangle and placards of divine names. I do, however, always travel with a deck of tarot cards. And the cards, together with a few common items I can scavenge from the hotel, are usually all I need to construct a viable magical temple anywhere and execute a first-rate magical operation. A deck of tarot cards is a magic temple, indeed an entire universe in a box. Each card represents a particular facet of the magical universe around us and within us. The deck is the ultimate pantacle, organized upon the purest of Kabbalistic principles. There is no aspect of consciousness that cannot be located on or represented by one or more tarot cards. Even nothingness can be found in the formless inscrutability of the tarot. In fact, everything I've ever needed to build a homemade temple while away from home, I have conveniently found in a deck of tarot cards. Here's a quick example of how it's done. Under the heading Hotel Room Homemade Temple. After performing my customary banishing ritual, most usually a version of the pentagram ritual, I create the perimeter of my temple space by acknowledging and marking the sacred quarters in the cardinal directions. Of course, I do this in my mind, but in order to ground my understanding of where in the cosmos I am, I place the 4 aces of the tarot in the quarters of the room as unmistakable emblems of the elements and the magic they embody. Now, there are 2 distinctly different ways the 4 aces can be assigned to the quarters, depending upon whether the temple is to be arranged for microcosmic or macrocosmic workings. Elemental temple, which would be microcosmic. For the rituals based on the elements, fire, water, air, earth, and spirit, I create a microcosmic temple. I imagine myself standing on the surface of the earth with the 4 quarters assigned according to the classic elemental rulerships of the 4 terrestrial winds. Ace of Swords, air in the east, Ace of Wands, fire in the south, Ace of Cups, water in the west, and Ace of Discs, earth in the north. That's the microcosmic temple for elemental workings. Now, planetary or zodiacal temple, or macrocosmic. For planetary or zodiacal or macrocosmic workings, I project myself into a much larger universe and imagine myself positioned as the sun surrounded by the belt of the zodiac. In this greater universe, the 4 quarters are assigned according to where the cardinal zodiac signs, 1 each for fire, water, air, and earth, are positioned. Ace of Wands would be cardinal fire, Aries, and I'll place that in the east. Ace of Discs, cardinal earth, or Capricorn, would be in the south. Ace of Swords, cardinal air, Libra, in the west. And Ace of Cups, cardinal water, for Cancer, in the north. In other words, just project the zodiac onto your floor in a counterclockwise way, placing Aries in the east. Everything else drops into place. Note, for Enochian magical rituals, the 4 aces of the tarot are also representative of the archangelic and angelic powers and personages of the 4 elemental tablets. In my deck, the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, the full image of each Enochian elemental tablet is actually displayed on the appropriate ace. The use of these cards as the 4 walls of your magic temple, along with the proper rituals to charge them, is the most effective way to ceremonially create sacred space in which to perform magic operations or meditations. Very often, placing of the aces in the 4 quarters is all that is necessary to create the sacred space, at least as I need it. But for more elaborate workings, I can also cast a homemade magic circle in the center of the sacred space. Under the heading Hotel Room Homemade Magic Circle. For ceremonies of spirit evocation, like there's my little Andromalius there, Goetia, Solomonic magic, is presented in traditional texts such as the first book of the Lemegeton. the Lesser Key of Solomon. The magician stands within a protective circle surrounded by a litany of divine names. Placed outside the circle is a triangle, also surrounded by magic words of power. The triangle theoretically traps the spirit or demon that has been summoned by the magician's prayers and conjurations and constraints long enough for it to receive its instructions from the magician. For years, when doing this kind of magic, I took a lot of time and expended a great amount of energy pushing my artistic skills to their limits to create the classic circle and triangle as described in the traditional texts. As the years passed, I eventually became comfortable with my understanding of what was actually going on inside my psyche during the operations of this nature. As a consequence, I have dramatically simplified my operating procedures, streamlined my circle and triangle, and abandoned much of the elaborate trappings and medieval and superstition-inspired choreography that filled the ancient books. Today, my magic circle is simply a thin cord that I can wrap up and put in my pocket or whenever necessary around my body so that I can stay in the circle for an extended period of time. Okay, and this is this is my magic circle. Placed on the floor. It takes a little while because I'm a sloppy guy, but placed on the floor, it makes a nice magic circle. And in ceremonies that require me to stay in the magic circle, perhaps for many days, I just wrap it up, tie it around my waist like a belt, and wear it until the spirit has fulfilled its charge. And my triangle has become a segmented carpenter's rule. Just about perfect. Now this is a kind of an antique one, but you can go down to Ace Hardware and pick one up today. This was actually my father-in-law's, who was a carpenter. But the magic circle is, or should be, more than just a magical prophylactic that we can roll on before we penetrate the infernal realms of Goetic demons. I couldn't help myself. For countless practices, the casting of the circle and understanding of what you're doing when you cast the circle is in and of itself a magical ceremony of the highest order. The aces and the quarters establish the holy ground of our temple, but the circle is the Holy of Holies, where we elevate and unite our consciousness with that of the Supreme Consciousness, and where we stand to banish or invoke elements, planets, and gods. It is the sacred space in which we sit or lie down to induce visions. It is the high place from which we call forth angels. It is the sanctuary where we can safely leave our physical bodies during out-of-body experiences. The circle is our workroom where we consecrate talismans and magical weapons. It is our monk's cell and our meditation chamber, our alchemical laboratory, our wedding chamber, or simply a quiet place to worship and adore the supreme consciousness of the cosmos. Under the heading Tarot Cards Again to the Rescue. I use tarot cards to create a beautiful and powerful homemade magical circle that I can construct anywhere in just a few minutes. Briefly, here's how it works. For macrocosmic workings, the circle can be viewed as the belt of the zodiac, with you, the magician, as the sun in the center. Right off the bat, this is a very cool meditation. The cards we use to form the circle are the 36 small cards of the tarot. The 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of each of the 4 suits. Now you might think that there are 40 small cards, the ace through 10 of each suit, but technically the aces are not small cards. The aces are actually the master cards of their suits. The 2s through 10s of the suits live inside their aces. Are you following me so far? Good. The 36 small cards represent the 36 decans, or periods of 10 degrees in the zodiac, and the zodiacal year. When laid out in a counterclockwise ring, these 36 cards will form our magic circle. The small card decans pass through the zodiacal year from Aries all the way through Pisces in a most elegant and logical manner. And if you'll just scroll down on my page, I put how they're all laid out in a nice little color chart of the wheel. So you can refer to that. Recall that the suit of wands represents, among other things, the element of fire, the suit of cups, water, the suit of swords, air, and the suit of discs, earth. Of the 12 signs of the zodiac, 3 are fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. 3 are water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. 3 are air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And 3 are earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. There being 9 small cards in each suit, the first 3 cards in the series, or the 2, 3, 4s, are assigned to the cardinal signs of the zodiac. The second 3 cards, or the 5, 6, and 7s, are assigned to the fixed signs of the zodiac, and the final 3 cards in the series, the 8, 9, and 10s, are assigned to the mutable signs of the zodiac. Here's how it works. The 2s, 3, 4s of each side represent the cardinal signs of the zodiac thus. 2, 3, 4 of wands equals the first, second, and third decan of Aries, cardinal fire. 2, 3, 4 of cups equals the first, second, and third decans of Cancer, cardinal water. 2, 3, 4 of swords, the first, second, and third decans of Libra, cardinal air. And the 2, 3, 4 of discs equals the first, second, and third decan of Capricorn, cardinal earth. Now, the 5, 6, 7s represent the fixed signs. So 5, 6, 7 of wands would be the first 3 decans of Leo, fixed fire. 5, 6, 7 of cups, the decans of Scorpio, fixed water. 5, 6, 7 of swords, the decans of Aquarius, fixed air. 5, 6, 7 of discs, the 3 decans of Taurus, fixed earth. It's so clean it squeaks. The 8s, 9s, and 10s then represent the mutable signs. So 8, 9, 10 of wands and cardinal mutable fire is Sagittarius. 8, 9, 10 of cups, 3 decans of Pisces, mutable water, 8, 9, 10 of swords, the 3 decans of Gemini, mutable air, and the 8, 9, 10 of discs, the 3 decans of Virgo, mutable earth. It's much easier just to do the damn thing than it is to talk about it. So, to create a complete, beautiful, and most proper homemade magic circle, simply clear a space on the floor and surround yourself with the 36 small cards in the tarot laid out like this. And that diagram I posted yesterday will show you exactly how that is. Starting in the east, lay the cards around you in a counterclockwise direction, just like the wheel of the zodiac. So that would be for Aries, 2, 3, 4 of wands. For Taurus, 5, 6, 7 of discs. For Gemini, 8, 9, 10 of swords. For Cancer, 2, 3, 4 of cups. For Leo, 5, 6, 7 of wands. For Virgo, 8, 9, 10 of discs. For Libra, 2, 3, 4 of swords. For Scorpio, 5, 6, 7 of cups. For Sagittarius, 8, 9, 10 of wands. For Capricorn, 2, 3, 4 of discs. For Aquarius, 5, 6, 7 of swords. And finally for Pisces, 8, 9, 10 of cups. So if we're counting just the numbers of the cards, they go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way around the zodiac. Voila! An elegant, accurate, and functional magical circle. When you think about it, the simple act of taking a well-shuffled tarot cards and reordering them and reassembling them in neat, precise astrological order is in and of itself a magical exercise of the highest order. After all, how many opportunities do you get every day to take your shuffled deck, in other words, your screwed up and unorganized life and universe, and put it in perfect order? Okay, and here is, in the book itself, is a version of that circle. Okay, well, we've gone our allotted time. Tomorrow will be chapter 14, Challenges and Rewards of Being Married, oh brother, to another magician. That should be fun. Okay. Right now I have to get ready for a tarot reading. I do tarot readings whenever I'm invited to, or whenever it's arranged. Constance just has returned from shopping. I'll see you tomorrow. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. Oh, don't forget Pomegranate Grove. Look into it anyway.